How do I find peace when life seems so hard? When we look at things such as more and more problems arising in our lives, whether it's our career, our family being pulled in different directions, addiction, or whatever it might be, these things manifest for all of us. But I think the core of these problems all stem from one thing, and this thing can be explained by a book, the Ashtavakra Gita, especially from verse 4 in chapter 10, which simply says bondage consists only in desire, and this distraction is said to be liberation. The first part of the sentence is the key, I think. No matter how difficult life gets and in how many ways you feel pulled, stressed, and turned down, the key to finding freedom, to finding peace, to a better life is understanding that bondage consists only in desire. Bondage is desire. That's all it is. That's what Ashtavakra says. There is no other bondage in our life. Nothing causes us suffering the way desires do. This, at first, might seem like desire aids in offering what I want, what I need, a better life, more money, whatever it might be, more notice, more fame, all these different things that put so many of us into the forefront of social media, creating content like I myself create, and so forth. But what he really means is that when we think of all those things that cause us sufferings, that cause harm, the core of these sufferings, of these things which make our life difficult, is simply desire itself. The desire for things to constantly be a different way than they are. Because when it comes to life, there are, in my view, from what I have experienced, from all that I've been gone through, the root cause of all those problems I've had during that time has been from my inability to process or accept what I was facing or what I needed to be changing in the now moment. Our desire for things to be a different way than they are is what causes us this pain. Now, this is not to say that things cannot be changed or that we should not have a will or wanting to change, because we should. Whatever we find our path to be in, like our dharma, it will come with difficulties, but the key to them is to continue pressing forward, to continue moving forward as best as we can. And then the problem we have to be aware of, and I want you to be aware of moving forward, that I think can help and make a hard life a lot more relaxed, a lot easier, is not to be obviously compulsively think and wish for things to be different than they are, but instead to simply recognize that they are not where you want them to be or need them to be. Embrace that. Say, okay, I see this. I'm not going to dwell on this. I'm not going to let this torment me day by day, hanging over my head like a prize I cannot reach. It's simply honoring what you want to come into fruition, what you need to become true, and then moving slowly toward it. Every small step of the way, day by day, action by action, whatever it may be, because that is the process of life, right? It's an ever flowing river. Current never stops. When we fight the currents, the Buddha says that there is where the dukkha arises, the suffering, the clinging, the grasping to, I wish it was this way, or I wish it was that way. And that alone, that bondage connected to our desire, is what makes life hard. So the key is to have goals, have things you are moving towards, a life, a dharma, a calling, what you feel called to be, what you feel called to do, to dream, whatever it might be, to make moves every day, small steps, whatever they might be, bettering your own mental health, your own career, all these different ways we can go to take action in that way. But to not allow the time not spent in that action to be fulfilled with consistent thinking and wishing for things being different, and stewing and anger and resistance over things not being where you want them to be. Because if all we do is desire things to be different when things are difficult, we will then just have a difficult life and a difficult mind to deal with, right? If my life is hard and I've been in a very difficult positions, I'm sure many of you have too. And I spend the time I have in those difficult positions just doing and marinating about how hard life is and how difficult things are, how much I wish they would change, instead of spending that time focusing on bettering myself or finding peace or dropping into the moment or meditating or just relaxing or reading a book or reading a game plan. Instead of all these different things I could be doing to change that, to release that frustration. I'm just letting it build. I'm just letting it grow, clinging so tightly to this thing that I wish I had or the way I wish life was. That I'm hurting myself in a way, It's life. If you have a rose petal in your hand and you are holding it by the stalk, they are thorns. And if you are holding it lightly and gently, you can enjoy the beauty of that rose. You can see the beauty of it. But the tighter you grasp, the more it hurts you. And eventually, those thorns pierce the skin and you begin to bleed. So, the paradox of wanting that change, of seeing the difficult hardship that life throws at us, as much as the ego mind might want to run from it, to hide from it, and to be angry and bitter, as much as we want to clench down and go, I wish this wasn't happening. The key is to release our grasp, to become gentle, to see it, to go. Okay, I honor the position I'm in. I honor my situation in life. I see all these difficulties. I see all that that I'm carrying. Now that I see that, let me just step back and sit with this moment. Honor it, release it. And now let me think instead, what can be done next? What can I do? What are some ideas? What are some actions that I can partake in that would help me move toward this and to continue to flow with where my life is and take small steps to get out of it or to change it rather than deny it and allowing it to again pull us down every single day. And there is a great quote to expand on this by Chogyam Trungpa where he says, the bad news is you are falling through the air, nothing to hang on to, no parachute. The good news is there is no ground. I love this quote because if we imagine ourselves falling through the air, there are two ways we can approach that falling. We can do it with fear, with worry of what's next, even if we knew there was no ground and we were just falling. Some people spend that time falling in complete terror, complete worry, and problems they create and perceive in their own mind. Or we have the path. If we embrace the fall, embracing the wind rushing by us and the acceleration, the experience of this fall, knowing there is no ground and releasing the worries we had. Maybe before that, there would be one. And so that's life in general. We are falling in the air consistently. There is no predictability to it. There is no knowing of what will happen next. And the more we stew and resent and worry about what will happen, the harder our life becomes. No matter how many hardships we face, yet we do have the capacity to face those same hardships, those same issues, those same problems with an air of understanding and acceptance that allows us to then clear the mind, clear the emotional body, and begin to look towards a brighter future in the now moment. And that's the key, looking toward it while being here and now fully. Well, and that's what Ashtavakra said. All you have to do is to release your attachment to these desires. All of your pain comes from the bondage you create for yourself, the chains you shackle yourself to around these wantings and wishings, and hoping that things were not as they are. But until you embrace them as they are, you can never unlock these shackles or liberate yourself from them. And so he finishes the verse again, the verse 4, chapter 10 of the Ashtavakra Gita, by saying, through non attachment to the world alone is attained the constant joy of realization. So by detaching, by letting go of all these wishes and wanting for things to be different than they are, embracing things as they are now fully, no matter how difficult or easy that might be, that is the only way to find peace, to find truth, and then to move forward. We have to let go of what we wish things were and embrace what things are in every moment, every day, as often as we can. And each time we feel ourselves being attached or dragged down or pulled this way or that way, it's just bringing ourselves back to the moment, dropping into the moment once again, however you might do so. Yoga, meditation, riding a motorcycle, or painting, which is a great way for some people, including me, finding a way to be here and now. And then you have cleared the headspace just a little bit. saying, okay, I see this situation, I honor it, let's continue moving forward as best as we can. I think that's one of the great things about life, is that we each have a decision in every moment of everyday life to go against life or to flow with life. And going against it might be seem easier for some, while going for life and trying to make new things happen might seem more difficult. You have to follow your dharma. There's no predictability. There is no knowing where your path will lead you. There's no guarantee it will go where you want it to go. But you have to continue following it through all the ups and downs to allow it become something beautiful that you can embrace every single day. Being here as often as we can, honoring our situation because everyone's situation is different. Everyone has their own responsibilities, expectations, worries, fear, achievements, goals. It's about seeing all of that, seeing the whole of your life in the now moment and embrace every part of it, no matter how difficult it might be. And that embracement and that let go again of wanting to be some other way is the only thing that will make hard life easy and vice versa. If we don't do it, we make an easy life hard. So I hope this video helped you out, and if you have any questions, especially for a topic for a future video, please feel free to subscribe and leave a comment. I will see you in the next video.